BlueTech7753 had posted a video response to my video on the change of plans for video game consoles. In the video, he mentioned that there is a possibility that Sony and Microsoft will be pulling out of the video game arena. Now, I'm going to take the time to read one of those articles and ask for your input. Before I do, though, I just wanted to mention BlueTech in case you have not checked your comments yet. To confirm, I have a 27-inch CRT television, one of the old-fashioned types. I've had it for several years, but yeah, it is a 27-inch. My vision is 2080 with my glasses. Now, I'm not sure what yours is, but mine is 2080, and for the most part, when I'm sitting on the couch, which I'm assuming is about 3 feet away. I'm not good at measurement off the top of my head because of my depth perception. But when I'm sitting, back away from the TV, I can see it relatively fine, with the exception of scores and, like you said, possibly dialogue. It depends on how big the print is, but for the most part, I can see it pretty fine. I'm going to try in the next couple of days to play the GameCube from the couch just to see how things work, because I have not been able to try a Wii yet. I have not been able to find a store that has them on display, with the exception of GameStop. That's at the mall, and I hardly go to the mall, only because, well, I don't know. Anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and read the article. BlueTech, in case you're curious, let me just pull it up here. I think I bookmarked it. No, I didn't. Give me a second. And this is wasting my time. I cannot believe I was so stupid. Ah, here it is. No, that's not it. Is this it? Let's try this. Here we go. Sorry for the delay. I thought I bookmarked this. I didn't. I didn't realize it was on another website, but whatever. BlueTech, this is the Blorge article on Sony and Microsoft to exit console wars. I'm just going to go ahead and read this word for word for those of you who do not know about this, and I'm going to include the link so you can read it for yourself if you want, rather than listening to me blab. The article is entitled, Sony and Microsoft to exit console wars after PS3 and Xbox 360. Notice the PSP is not mentioned, but if it were mentioned, I think the 3000 would be the last one, like BlueTech probably had suggested. September 27th, 2008, by Dave Patrick. Just last weekend, I spoke about the next generation of consoles and who is likely to be involved. I think all three current players, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, are likely to play again, but some feel differently. Could it be that the PS3 and Xbox 360 are the last consoles from Sony and Microsoft, respectively? Nintendo is guaranteed to be in the next generation console war. For starters, it is a company which only deals with video games, so even if the Big N decided to get out of console manufacturing, it would still develop and publish games, much like Sega had done since the Dreamcast crashed and burned. Excuse me. But it is unlikely to drop out of the console manufacturing business anytime soon, because the Wii and DS are both phenomenal successes. But there are question marks over Sony and Microsoft's long-term plans. And one person who thinks that both companies' future isn't going to involve consoles is Alex St. John, CEO and founder of Wild Tangent, a PC game network. According to Gametopius, no, me neither, St. John was recently part of a panel titled Debate Club. Is the console entertainment hub of the future, or fighting to stay alive? At the first annual New York Games Conference, the pro-console team first argued that consoles are the future thanks to the cost of high-end PC gaming, the ability to play from the comfort of your couch, and the consoles becoming media hubs. But then it was the anti-consoles team's turn, and the views expressed by St. John were controversial and explosive. He said, Sony is not the company they used to be, and the PlayStation 3 is a market failure. Sony will never recover from the billions they lost on the current generation of consoles. Sony says we are not making another for 10 years, which is code for we can never make back the billions we lost on the PS3, let alone convince our executives to make one again. Microsoft has a whole mile deep dug in the middle of Microsoft's campus to bury the billions of dollars of broken Xbox 360s they've got. The Xbox business is not a profitable business for them. It's only become incrementally profitable for them after many years and billions invested. To give you some perspective, the Xbox 360, which is the second most popular console in the US, all Xbox revenues combined create less revenue than the World of Warcraft subscriptions. The entire 360 software business is minuscule compared to one PC game. So the interesting observation is that both Microsoft and Sony are in a position where they are unlikely to ever have the motive to invest the billions into making another generation of consoles. It's easy to dismiss St. John's comments after either as ramblings of a madman or of a man whose business is solely reliant on PC gaming, of which the latter is ultimately correct, but everything he says is factual and deserves some thought. The PS3 is a market failure at this moment in time, although that failure may ultimately be turned around in the end, with Home and Little Big Planet possibly kickstarting a sales climb this Christmas. Will it be enough to turn around the losses Sony has already made on the PlayStation 3 hardware? Microsoft has also lost a fortune on this generation console war, with the great Red Ring of Death debacle costing the company over $1 billion to fix, and with the recent price cuts across the board, each console unit sold is likely costing the company more than ever. Will the impressive software attach rate be enough to tempt Microsoft into another round of console wars? I foresee the Wii 2 making an appearance in the next couple of years, but then my crystal ball goes a bit cloudy, and I'm not sure of the future. There could be another console generation beyond this one, but nothing is guaranteed at this point. I hope you'll all be content to only own a Nintendo console in 10 years' time. My thoughts? Given the fact that I've been Nintendo my whole life, I don't really have any thoughts. Because I haven't had enough experience with the PS3 or the Xbox, for that matter, to really say anything. All I can tell you is that I'm going to keep an eye on the next generation DS, definitely. And whether or not I get a Wii is going to be undecided. I'm going to need some time with it to determine whether or not... It's not that I don't want one. It's whether or not, based on my setup at home, if it will be feasible. So I'm going to need to try a couple of things over the next couple of months to determine whether or not it would work. The Nintendo DS is definitely going on my list next Christmas. I cannot wait to see it in action. I cannot wait to see the new DS. It's going to be fantastic from what I've... The supposed artist concepts are fantastic. If you Google next generation Nintendo DS and you go to image results, the black one that's a 100% rectangle in shape, and the upper screen spans almost the entire cover, and the lower screen spans as much as is physically possible, with enough room to still store the controls, the A, B, X, Y, and directional pad. That would be the one that people are expecting, I think. Note the words, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.